Hey guys. Most of you have an experience of hearing someone calling your name randomly during the night and sometimes even during the day, but you don't see who calls your name. You don't see who is calling out your name. I want to talk to people, especially if you have inherited a name and you are having this experience, because this is what it means. In most of the cases, when you have inherited a name and you hear somebody calling you, especially if that person is deceased, the person whom you are named after is no more, they are dead. If you hear someone calling your name in this way, it means in most cases you are not the victim. They are actually calling the name of that person who is deceased from the grave. They are calling that person's name, and normally it means that person did not die a natural death. There's been spiritual manipulation revolving around that person's death. Now they are using that person for evil purposes during the night or even during the day. They are using that person for evil purposes. Now, when they call out that person from the grave, if you have inherited that person's name, you are likely to also hear that calling. You will hear also like someone is calling you, but it will not be you who is being called. It will be that person who is deceased, who is being used for evil purposes. And in most of the times, you find that you also get tagged along in the practices of this person. You'll find that you are also somehow involved in the spiritual works of that person who is deceased or what they're using that person for. That is the reason why most of you as well, you'll find that you are being called names by people, and they are also blaming you for things that you don't know. They are accusing you for things that you know nothing about. In most of the times, it is because of the works that they are using that person for. They also reflect on you. This is very dangerous and very terrible, because this can go into a point where it can bind and also hinder your life, because you find that you will be rejected where the person was rejected. You will also be treated how the person was treated, and now it will reflect badly on you. And these closed opportunities, it logs people's life. It binds your life as an individual, because some of you right now, you are suffering rejection that is not meant for you. It was meant for that person who died, but because of the name, you are tagged along in that rejection. Now, number two, you might find that you have inherited that name, but the person is not deceased. The person is still alive. But you hear them calling you because that person also, whom you have been named after, is being called. You find that that person is maybe involved in witchcraft, or maybe they are using that person for witchcraft purposes. So when they call out that person during the night or whatever time, you'll find that you will also hear them name calling. You will also hear that calling into your ears, because they are calling that person. And in the spiritual realm, there is because of that heredity, there is a strand that joins the two of you together, that bonds the two of you together. And here is the thing: this thing, good people, is dangerous. You need to do away from it. And if maybe you have not been named after a person, but you are having this experience. In this case, it means the target is you. You are the one who is being targeted. They are after you personally. They want you. They want to use you for evil purposes. They want to use you for witchcraft. You see, before they use you for witchcraft, if you are not willing to do witchcraft, when they call you, they will need to call you so that you will reply back. When you reply back, that is when now they've got a chance of recruiting you into witchcraft, because you have responded. That is why you must never respond to any call of someone that you don't see. It is like during the night when somebody knocks, don't say come in. Don't say come in. It's better you open the door, maybe peep through the window if you are someone, especially if it's not during the midnight watches, because you might peep out, and if you're not strong enough, you might see things that are too tough for you. So if you know that maybe it is still early, don't just say come in. Go and open the door and see who is knocking. Because sometimes if you respond and say come in and there is no one there, you might have welcomed certain spirits that you don't even know. What is this? What is the solution to this? Good people, I always give solutions in most of my videos. The solution is always prayer. But until you see prayer as a solution, prayer will never be a solution to you. You need to see prayer as a solution, because most of us Africans, we are used to tangible things. You are used to being given things, going back with this, going doing this. And because of that, we have lost a reliance in prayer. We don't think that prayer is enough. If you pray in the name of Yeshua and you believe in the name of Yeshua, this name has got power and ability to save you from all these things that you are going through. All those spiritual problems, they will subject to the name of Yeshua. That is the name of Jesus. They will be subject to that name. So, but until you have that you have that reliance and that belief that prayer works, prayer has saved a lot of you, and prayer continues to save a lot of you. You are not aware. There are many things that are changing, that are shifting in the spiritual realm, and even those that are your spiritual enemies, if they are to open up and tell you what prayer does to them, you will never stop praying. Believe in prayer, rely on prayer. In this way, the solution is to disconnect yourself from that name, disconnect yourself and anything that you have inherited from that name. Get into prayer and fasting. Why prayer and fasting? There are certain demons like these ones, there are certain spiritual problems like this one. They will never succumb, they will never go away unless you pray and fast. They need fasting, these ones. You need to get into fasting. If you can, get into 3 days of prayer and fasting and begin to pray and disconnect yourself from this name. Break that strand, break that covenant that could join you and that person in the spiritual realm. Break it and renounce it. Denounce it out of your life. Let it be that you are you and you live within the potential of the destiny that God has given you without being disturbed by some heredity. Because here's the thing, if you have inherited it, that person, wherever they failed, demons that they failed to conquer, you've got a higher chances of failing to conquer if you are still joined with that name. So this is the solution. Pray and fast. Pray and fast. If you are a beginner in fasting, don't fast for the day. You can start maybe with few hours. Maybe you can do 6 to 6, or you can do 6 to 12, 6 to 5, 6 to 3, until you know that you have grown to that level where you can fast for a day, or even maybe do it in succession where you sleep and wake up with it. May God bless you. Shalom.